I think the best moments are when you, like after I fix the main halyard and I manage to get the sail back up and everything, when you've achieved the repair you're trying to do or whatever, and maybe the gooseneck went and I managed to repair that. When I first saw it, I just thought, oh, I'll be lucky to make 4th place. And you know, I just wanted to get to Cape Town. Where are we? Yeah, the day the gooseneck went, and I spent all day fixing it, and it was a tough job to say the least. And when I found I hadn't even lost 2nd place, I was just, I actually laughed to myself a little while. It's probably the only time I've been laughing to myself like a crazy woman, but I just thought that was great. So.
Was that the lowest point as well, discovering that problem?
No, the lowest point in the race was when the main fell to the deck, just a couple of hours after darkness. And when the main halyard broke, and I just thought, oh, I can't go up in darkness. It would have been crazy to try and do that job in the dark. And I just thought, again, I thought that was me going to lose not only 2nd place, but 3rd. So.
Was climbing the mast then the biggest challenge for you?
Absolutely. It was the biggest thing I've ever done, the biggest physical challenge I've ever put myself through. It's one of those things, you know, it's not fun doing it on the dock, no mind at sea on your own with big swell going and too much wind, so no.
How did you psych yourself up to look up that mast and know you're going to climb it?
God, I don't think I even bothered looking up there. I just no. How do you psych yourself up? It's hard to say, really. You just know you've got to do it, and the quicker you do it, the quicker you'll be down, and the quicker you'll get to the finish line, really.
It took a long time, didn't it?
It did take a long time. I hadn't realised how long it had taken me. I didn't have a watch on, and I just kept going and kept going until I got to the finish of it. I didn't time it. I didn't think about that at all. I just constantly focused on just getting up to the top, then doing the job, then getting back down.
The major weather systems, what sort of weather systems did you get? Start out with a start.
The major weather systems would have been the first little low pressure it was very strong but small, so it only lasted, really the worst of it was overnight. And that was horrible. It really confused seas because it was such a close centre and it came through. The seas are confused very quickly. Then we had a day's respite before we started heading into the centre of Hurricane Kyle, which was a massive low pressure system spread over quite an area. And so that was, I can't remember exactly, 3 or 4 days of very heavy weather, with the wind increasing to constant 50s, gusting to 60s and top speed 72. And that was very uncomfortable for days. And even coming out the other side, knowing that you're on your way out, it was still bad for a day. Even though you think, great, I'm kind of close reaching out of here, going fast, the speed of the boat was definitely hindered by the size of the waves and the wind. So,
what was it like in that sort of wind? Describe what the wind is like.
Well, the wind is so wet. There's water everywhere. You don't know whether it's rain or spray half the time until you taste it. And it's noisy. Everything's noisy. If there was more than one of you on board and you were shouting to each other on deck, you'd probably have to get within a couple of metres to shout to the other person to be heard. I don't know.
What about the lack of wind then, the doldrums? Was it as flat calm as you expected?
No, this is the first time I've crossed the doldrums without stopping. Didn't stop once, and got some big squalls, and a lot of big squalls, which was, I don't know, it's typical of the doldrums, but I haven't had that many big squalls. Kind of 46 knots was the biggest I saw in one of those, and normally you'd see, 20s, maybe 30s. So that was different again.
What were they like, those squalls? Are they
yeah, those squalls are a bit of a nightmare because they're hard to, you can see the clouds coming, but you can never tell if it's a 20 or 30. Because you're on your own, you're always trying to minimise the amount of physical effort you put into dropping and raising the sails again. And I saw one of these clouds coming in and I thought, great, I had under 10 knots at the time. I dropped the spinnaker, luckily, dropped it down the hatch, saw the cloud coming in, and with only about a minute to go, you can just see the waves, and the water is just absolutely flattened and black, really close, and you think, oh, this is going to be more, and you've still got your full main up and your Solent or whatever. And in those cases, you've just got to deal with it. You haven't got time to drop the sails, or so in one particular squall, I just bore away and ended up going west for 100 miles before I could get the sail down. So, but then I just left it up because it all died and I could go south again.